There was this young Chinese boy who came from a very poor family in Hong Kong. He never dreamed he would go far. His parents left him behind to do housekeeping jobs in Australia. And he was gifted with talents for kung fu, doing stunts and acrobatics. And he developed and cashed in on this until he rose to become a famous movie star, a multi-millionaire, and an Asian superstar. His name, most of us will know him, Jackie Chan, the super kid. We might be tempted to ask, why am I not so blessed like such gifted people? Today's parable of the talents gives us a glimpse of the answer. It tells us that God does indeed give different gifts to everyone. One received 5 talents, another 2, another 1. Which means we are gifted and blessed in a very unique and different way. We simply cannot compare. Why is this so? Why such so-called inequality? Why such a difference? That is a mystery to us. Despite this, everybody gets sufficient qualities or talents to work with. It is not how many one has that matters, but how one uses his gifts. So what God demands from us is that we should maximize the use of whatever abilities or gifts that we possess, that we develop our potential to the fullest. Yes, we may not be equal in gifts and talents, but we can be equal in effort. The man who received 1 talent was not condemned because he has only 1. He was condemned because by burying it in the ground, he failed to use it and to develop it. So sometimes we may be tempted to say, I have very little talents. It's insignificant. I can't do much with it. I can't contribute much. It's not worthwhile for this little contribution that I made. But this is a defeatist attitude. We must not entertain this kind of attitude. Simply because I think that I have very little gifts and talents, and then I cannot contribute much and so on, and I just give in like that. Success in God's eyes depends not on extraordinary feats and qualities, but on the spirit, the motive, the intention behind the efforts, which given the right motive, the right intentions, the right spirit, a plain homemaker or even our own parish worker Mohin or our simple Nepali security guard outside, they can just be as successful as a popular movie star like Jackie Chan. It all depends on our perspectives. There is this old story about Moses complaining that his public relations man, the PR man, was not getting him enough coverage in the newspapers. The PR man said to Moses, "We cannot give you the coverage you want because you are not doing anything spectacular." So Moses answered, "Well, I will go down to the Red Sea, wave my right hand, and the waters will part, and the Hebrews will pass through safely. Then I will wave my left hand, and the waters will return, and the pursuing Egyptians would be swallowed up." And the PR man replied, "Moses, if you do that, I can guarantee you 4 pages in the Bible reserved for you." And Moses did just that, and that is how we have those 4 pages in the book of Exodus about the parting of the sea. So the story illustrates how society often measures success in terms of what is glamorous, sensational, spectacular, extraordinary. Finally, the parable of the talents teaches that we will be made to render an accounting of our gifts, whether that be a material wealth, a special skill, a business skill, or even a simple position. Are we using them? Are we using our gifts and talents for the building of God's kingdom, or only for our own selfish pleasures and enjoyments? Okay, now back to the rags to riches story of Jackie Chan. He recalls, "When I was young, we were very poor. The Red Cross gave me milk, rice, clothes. But when he became successful, he never forget his humble origin. And he confides, now I help people." He has established a charitable foundation, award scholarships to students, and give donations to the elderly and disabled. He makes a positive difference in the lives of thousands of people. Then we have Alfred Nobel, a Swedish chemist. He became very wealthy with his invention of the dynamite. One day he accidentally read his obituary, but it was not actually who died, but his brother Louis. The newspaper obituary was headlined, "The Merchant of Death is dead." The merchant of death is dead. So this explosive, the dynamic explosive that Alfred invented, of course, had its usefulness during peaceful time, such as in the construction, in the mining industry, etc. However, it was also used as a weapon of war. And so, seeing that he would be remembered as a merchant of death, Nabal decided to use his wealth to honor and assist all those whose works and lives have bequeathed, those whose works have bequeathed humankind. Hence, we have the Nobel Prize. It's given to scientists, artists, authors, personalities whose works and lives make a positive differences in the world. One of its well-known recipients was Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta. If I remember correctly, when Mahathir was elected the second time as the Prime Minister, someone suggested that for him to be a Nobel Prize, award, and he said, "I'm not that noble." So, in whatever way, every person receives from God certain gifts or talents, a package coming with the gift of life. Life is a gift from God. And what we do with our life is our gift back to God. Our late Father Henry Nouwen shares, life is just an interruption of eternity. And our short lives on earth are sowing times. People can benefit through our life as we go on bearing fruit, even after we die, since the legacy we leave for the people we have known finds its fullness after we are gone. So sisters and brothers, use your gifts, your talents, develop them to make a positive difference in the lives of people, in the community. It is by the wise use of your gifts or the failure of it that you will be judged by God. Live a life of significance. Live a legacy of goodness.